सततं रूपः नाम प्रियजनं हरे. Though there are others, so he is giving a special credit to Chaitanya, Srila Rupa Goswami. So what he is saying is, though there are others who in the past have taken up to the path of devotion service to the Lord, he is saying, Purve tam bhakti shritatu, that there are so many people before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, and especially before Rupa Goswami came, they also took up to devotion service. But then what difference Srila Rupa Goswami brought? So he is saying, I pay my continual obeisances, tam satatam naumi, to Srila Rupa Goswami, who is dearmost to the Lord, Rupa Nam Hare Priya Janam, Manobhistam, Chaitanya Manobhistam. Then, by his mercy, what is special contribution? Humanity has received the intelligence, yad atadhiya, to see all rasas, relationship with the Lord, revealed by bhakti, devotion to the Lord, rasam pasyet. So before Rupa Goswami, it was not known that bhakti means rasa. Bhakti means relationship. That was revealed by Srila Rupa Goswami. That is a special contribution of Srila Rupa Goswami. Then he is speaking this. Avaniyam rasakeli vartam kalen luptam nija sakti muktaga sancharya rupe vyatnot punahasa prabhur vidho prag eva lok srishtim. Someone may say, how come Rupa Goswami could understand this and reveal to the world that how bhakti means rasa, bhakti means relationship? So he's saying the way before the creation, Lord enlightened Brahma from the heart, right? Within the heart, Lord enlightened Brahma. Brahmhid Adi Kavye. In the same way, Lord very anxious to revive Vrindavan pastime. He empowered Srila Rupa Goswami within in his heart with a spiritual potency. And by this potency, Srila Rupa Goswami could revive the activities of Krishna in Vrindavan, activities almost lost to memory. In this way, he spread Krishna consciousness throughout the world. And actually, it is now when we go to Vrindavan, we see so many places, right? Like all of us went to Kamevan, so many places in Kamevan, correct? Then any place you go, so many places are there in Vrindavan. But they came again, they were revived again by the mercy of Srila Rupa Goswami and other Goswamis. If they were not there, then we would have been to Vrindavan and we would be seeing, what is there. Because all these places by the time they were lost. But all glories to them that now we know, oh, here Putana was killed. Sometimes we have 4 or 5 places where Putana was killed. But it is Srila Rupa Goswami who told, this is. Yes, just imagine if our acharyas would not have come, what would have happened to Vrindavan now? Every matha would claim, this is Putana's place. This is that place. This is Ras Leela's place. Is it not? But because they came and they pointed places, so we Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we get to see, oh, this is the place where Ukhal Bandhan pastime happened. Oh, this is the place where Krishna ate dirt. Otherwise, on bank of Yamuna, so many places they would make. Krishna ने यहाँ खाया. ये पुराने वो क्या बोलते हैं, प्राचीन काल का मंदिर है. Like that people they say. Once I had taken one group to Gokul Dham. And the auto wala took me to New Gokul Dham. There is New Gokul Dham and Purana Gokul Dham. In Gokul Dham. And he took, and I was thinking, this is not the place where, because we came during Yatra, Guru Maharaj Yatra. So I was thinking, this is not Gokul Dham which we visited before. It was, नहीं स्वामी जी यही है. तो मतलब यहाँ पर ही है वो नंद महाराज का भवन. हाँ यही है. बोला अरे ऐसा कैसे हो गया. Then he took all, we went, and then नंद भवन भी था वहाँ पर, बिठा भी दिया. मैं बोला ये वाला नंद भवन तो नहीं था, वो तो दूसरा था. ये कैसा हो रहा है. देन वो पूतना का भी कृष्णावर्त सब स्थान है वहाँ पर. बोला ये क्या हो रहा है. फिर मैं ब्रज बहादुर प्रभु को फ़ोन किया कि मैं प्रभु हम लोग गोकुल धाम में हैं, लेकिन ये लग नहीं रहा है गोकुल धाम, हम तो यात्रा में दूसरी जगह गए थे. फिर उन्होंने बताया अरे वो आपको नए गोकुल धाम में लेके गए होंगे, वो अभी उन्होंने नया डुप्लीकेट बना दिया है. तो आप पुराने गोकुल धाम में जाओ. फिर मैं ऑटो वाले को बोला, नहीं पुराना, बोला नहीं 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 यही है, मेन तो यही है। बोला जो भी है आप हमको वहाँ लेके चलो। तो क्योंकि गुरु महाराज की यात्रा में हम लोगों ने देख लिया था इसलिए, वरना भी जितने भी नए लोग आते हैं जो गुरु परंपरा में जिनको ज्ञान नहीं मिला है, वो गोकुल में कौन से स्थान पे जाएंगे? हाँ, क्योंकि वो लोग क्या है, ऑटो वालों को कुछ पैसा वैसा देते हैं, तो ऑटो वाले क्या बाय डिफ़ॉल्ट वहीं लेके जाते हैं। और उन्होंने अच्छे प्लेसेस बना रखे, मतलब देखने में भी टेम्पल्स अच्छा है, पूतना का स्थान वगैरह सब अच्छा बना रखा है। तो फॉर न्यू जनरेशन दे विल जस्ट विजिट दैट प्लेस एंड दे विल कंसिडर एज गोकुल धाम। Obviously in Vrindavan any place is auspicious only, they come that they will get benefit, but then still we have a special mercy that because of being in Guru Parampara we are able to see. Like when we go to this Sati Anusha's place also, most of the people they go to the main temple only, right? And but first time when I came, I saw that all impersonal Babajis are there, samadhis, right? आई गॉट अ डाउट, अरे ये कैसे हो सकता है सती निशा का प्लेस। फिर मैंने थोड़ा इंक्वायर किया तो उन्होंने बताया पीछे है छोटा वाला, वो मेन है, ये बाद में बना है। दैट्स व्हाई व्हेन वी वेंट टू द बिहाइंड टेंपल आल्सो ना, द स्मॉलर वन, लाइक दैट। सो एज डिवोटीज वी नो द प्लेसेस, व्हाई? बिकॉज ऑफ द मर्सी ऑफ दीज ग्रेट सोल्स, लाइक दैट। Now this is the verse explaining the 9 stages. आदु श्रद्धा तथा साधु संगो अथ भजन क्रिया ततो अनर्थ निवर्ति स्यात् ततो निष्ठा रुचिस्ततः अथासक्ति ततो भाव ततः प्रेमाभ्युदानचति साधकानाम् अयं प्रेम्णः प्रादुर्भावे भवेत् क्रमः. So one thing we understood that although these 9 stages are mentioned like this, but it is not that by our own efforts doing sadhana we'll just keep going ahead in these 9 stages. These 9 stages are mentioned to give us some understanding about how the spiritual life is. But spiritual life may not necessarily go like this. It all depends on the mercy of the Lord. Somebody at level of Shraddha only can get Krishna Prem. And somebody at level of bhava also, like Bharat Maharaj, may not get Krishna Prem. He has to, again take births and then develop Krishna Prem. But to have some understanding how the journey of a sadhaka goes, by the mercy of the Lord, these stages are mentioned. But like you will find in case of Narada Muni, very quickly he could go through all these stages. He just met Bhaktivedantist, heard, mother died, went to forest, did meditation, bhava, prema. Whereas for others, they may take even lives to cross over Anartha Nivarti. They may take life to cross over Anartha Nivarti. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, if someone is very serious in bhakti, then he will take 3 lifetimes to go back to Godhead. If he is very serious in bhakti, like that he says. But again, our Prabhupada is so merciful, he says 1 lifetime. Actually, no Acharya before Bhaktivinoda Thakur told even this, that in 3 lifetimes one can go back to Godhead. So he was very merciful. Now just imagine the mercy of Prabhupada. He is telling 1 lifetime I will take. Like that. So many times we cry, प्रभु जी कलयुगा बहुत बढ़ गया है, माइंड बहुत ट्रबल करता है, सेंसेस बहुत ट्रबल करता है, इन्वायरमेंट सपोर्ट नहीं करता है, पूरा हर जगह सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन है, लेकिन एक्सपेक्टेशंस भी हमसे बहुत कम है। ऐसे इन्वायरमेंट में जितना प्रभुपाद जी ने बोला उतना भक्ति किया तो भगवान के धाम चले जाएंगे, क्योंकि भगवान दोनों चीज़ देख रहे हैं ना। अभी आप सतयुग में पैदा होंगे तो जाओ फिर जंगल में, एक पैर पे खड़ा हो बिना खाए पिए 60,000 साल तपस्या करो। इन्वायरमेंट बहुत अच्छा है लेकिन फिर प्राइस बहुत ज़्यादा है। एनवायरनमेंट डिस्ट्रक्टिव है लेकिन प्राइस कम है। तो देखिए हर जगह अगर आप पॉजिटिव तो थॉट प्रोसेस से देखोगे तो इतना कृपा कहीं नहीं है। और हमको मिल क्या रहा है? गोलोक प्रेम, कृष्ण प्रेम। चैतन्य महाप्रभु इज कमिंग, ही इज गिविंग मर्सी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ होली नेम। सो इफ यू सी इन दैट वे, करंटली इज द बेस्ट टाइम। अभी एक राम भद्राचार्य का अमोघ लीलापुर एक वीडियो दिखा है, उसमें वो बता रहे हैं सनातन धर्म का स्वर्णिम काल आ चुका है। लाइक दैट इज सेइंग एंड इट इज अ फैक्ट। तो अमोघ लीला गुरु को पूछा उन्होंने, एक न्यूज़ का इंटरव्यू है, आपको क्या लगता है इस स्टेटमेंट के बारे में? बोला बिल्कुल सही है, आप देखिए मेरे से साधु को आपने स्टूडियो में बुला लिया। पहले कहाँ होता था ऐसा? लाइक दैट यू आर, इट इज़ अ फैक्ट. People are respecting sadhus, people are talking about Sanatan culture. You go any temple now, same जगन्नाथपुरी टेम्पल जहाँ हम लोग एक दिन में 5-6 बार आगे पीछे हो लेते थे, अभी देखो कितना लंबा लाइन लगता है सिंह द्वार में एंट्री करने के लिए. Any holy place you go, previously it was so easy to just go because hardly people would visit. अभी बद्रीनाथ वगैरह के लिए रजिस्ट्रेशन होता है, 15 दिन आप लेट हो गए तो रजिस्ट्रेशन ब्लॉक, फुल हो गया, फिर आपका रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं होगा. हाँ, सारे होली प्लेसेस में ऐसा हो गया बिकॉज ऑफ दिस. सो मैनी डोटीज दे वर शेयरिंग, आवर वन सीनियर डोटीज देर बलदेव प्रभु वर शेयरिंग, अरे प्रभु कोल्हापुर में जहाँ कोई नहीं आता था पहले, अभी वहाँ लाइन लगी है, पता नहीं क्या हो गया. लाइक दैट यू वाज टेलिंग. सो एवरी प्लेस एक्चुअली हैज बिकम लाइक दैट. So that all is mercy of the Lord. So instead of saying like this that how this is happening, in our case actually if we can see our great fortune, one thing is we are born in India. So being in India, culture is still not so bad. Second is we are in UP. Among all the states, UP is one of the most pious states. And it is not so developed like metropolitan. So still you see in UP, you don't find the ladies, wearing such clothes which are, very difficult to see. So you find still culture is quite good like that. And third is Prabhupada has created such opportunities where we stay in association of devotees. We can read here, chant and do some service. So what we have to do is just follow Prabhupada throughout one's life by chanting 16 rounds, 4 regular principles, remain connected to some devotees, loyal to some devotees, and like this till your last breath continue, and then you will go back home, back to Godhead. Haribo. So now we will see stages. So Srila Jiva Goswami points out Ado Shraddha Tato Sadhu Sangha. He says there are manifold gradations in the appearance of prema, yet here in the two shlokas, one particularly gradual stage of development in the appearance of prema, which generally happens, has been mentioned by the author. This is who? Putana, right? In one nowadays this AI has come now. So one devotee has made one image where Krishna is wearing a specs and he is looking below as a. So and they have made a whole big painting. So Devkinpu saw, he became very unhappy that what is this? I guess. Now here you see Krishna is happy sitting. So these are the stages of gradual spiritualization of one's ego. So this is a very beautiful aspect which Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, that whole journey of a sadhaka in a spiritual life is actually the spiritualization of one's ego. So real ego is that I am servant of Krishna. And when we come here, then that ego becomes polluted. And then we develop the sense of I and my. Right? So whole spiritual journey is the spiritualization of ego. Right? And that is why yesterday when we were discussing that bhakti means humility should increase, because the false ego should reduce. That is the aspect of bhakti. If somebody is in devotion service but is becoming proud, so actually he is not growing in his bhakti. He is becoming more stuck in the material world. Although it may appear he is a sadhu, it may appear that he is very learned. And that's the reason you'll find like Devanand Pandit also, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who was Devanand Pandit? His job was reading Bhagavatam. His hobby was reading Bhagavatam. His interest was speaking Bhagavatam. His taste was Bhagavatam. He was always with Bhagavatam. And Mahaprabhu says he will not go back to bed. And Mahaprabhu says, I will not go to his home. Mahaprabhu says, better than him, I will prefer to go to home of a person who is a drunkard. Like that Mahaprabhu says. But I will not go to his home. Because he developed little pride, and because of which he offended Srivas Thakur. So because of that offense, and you will find the pride and offense, they are related. The heart of offense is disrespect, and disrespect arises from pride. So anywhere we offend, you will find somewhere it is because of pride. Because of pride, we are not able to respect fully, and because you are not able to respect fully, then it turns into a offense, like that. So actually, whole journey is the spiritualization of ego, and ego has these two functions: aham mameti. So first function is aham when he comes in the material world, and naturally aham follows mama. Like in case of Krishna also is telling mame vanso jiva lok jivabhuta sanatana, ye mere hai. But Krishna is speaking as a out of love, like that. As I was saying, that all the emotions exhibited by Krishna, they are not because of his incompleteness, but they are because of his love. Whereas in our case, we artificially assume ourselves, and then we think, oh, I, and then mine. But actually, I also is false, and mine also is false. Anything you find, living entities like that, anything he gets, he starts identifying this is mine. Like that, and forgets to see actually what is mine. Everything is Krishna's only. All the ingredients and everything is given by the Lord, and tomorrow it can be taken away, like that. Or false ego, thinking oneself to be something. Whatever we think about ourselves, they are also temporary. We may think that I am American, temporary. We may think, oh, I'm from such a college, that also is temporary. In previous life, we don't know how many colleges we have passed out, correct? Or one may think, oh, I am very intelligent, but then in next life we may become very bhondu. Right? But then this sense of I is very strong, very strong. How many of you before coming to devotion service would spend half an hour seeing mirror and decorating yourself? Half an hour easy है इतना तो है ना. I remember when the boys, they newly come to college, and then they are introduced to these concepts. एक जेल होता है, बाल लगा के थोड़े बाल वैसे हो जाते हैं, करेक्ट ना. इस फेशियल क्रीम्स आती हैं जो थोड़ा वो होती है, तो एसोसिएशन में वो सब ऐसा करने लग जाते हैं, राइट. और लोगों को देखो, सेल्फी का कितना कल्चर हो गया है अभी, राइट. अलग अलग एंगल से फ़ोटो लेना, अलग अलग पोज में फ़ोटो लेना, लोग मतलब पागल हो चुके हैं अभी तो. उसका नाम भी अच्छा रखा है, सेल्फी. ऐसा है, बिकॉज सेंस ऑफ आई बहुत स्ट्रांग है. एंड यू सी एवरीवन टॉक्स इन दिस सेंस ओनली. यू टॉक टू, मैंने ये किया, मैंने ये किया, मैं. एवरीवन इज लाइक दैट. आप अपने प्रोफेसर को देखना, करेक्ट, वो भी ऐसी बात करेंगे. किसी से भी बात कीजिए, पॉलिटिशियन को आप देखिए, वो इसी टोन में बात करेंगे, हमने ये किया, हमने वो किया, ऐसा. तो दिस सेंस ऑफ आई इज वेरी स्ट्रांग, ऐसा. मदर्स को आप देखना, वो भी इसी टोन में बात करेंगे. मैंने उसके लिए क्या नहीं किया, वो छोटा था, मैं ऐसे करती थी, मैं वैसे करती थी, ये होता था, मैं तो कभी ये नहीं मांगी अपने लिए, हमेशा मैं दूसरों के लिए जी. लाइक दैट दे टॉक ना, लाइक दैट. लेकिन उनको यही नहीं पता है कि यही तो दोष है हमारा. ऐसा. So when both are dissolved by knowledge, then there is liberation. So bondage is this falsehood. When both are dissolved by knowledge, then there is liberation. So actually this false ego is the root of everything. False ego means the enjoyer, the sense of enjoyment, sense of enjoyer, like that. So Radha Gopinath was telling many times we blame mind, intelligence, but actually they are serving false ego. False ego wants enjoyment. So false ego tells intelligence, ठीक है, छोड़ो उसको allow करो. And false ego tells mind, please collect the objects of my enjoyment. And then mind is appointing all the senses. ए आँख कुछ मिला क्या? अपने बॉस को enjoyment चाहिए, कुछ चाहिए? मिला? फिर आँख बोलेगी, अरे मैं गया वहाँ पर कॉलेज में बहुत सुंदर है एक लड़की. ठीक है उसको जल्दी से भेजो, इमेज वगैरह भेजो. फिर कान को पूछेंगे, कान कुछ मिला? अरे एक हिप टॉप सॉन्ग आया है. ठीक है भेजो, डाउनलोड करो. करेक्ट. फिर नाक को, तुमको कुछ मिला? हाँ अभी पेटीज बनाए, मार्केट में लॉन्च हुआ है, डोमिनोज पिज्ज़ा आया है, सबवे का बर्गर आया है, कैफ़े कॉफ़ी का कॉफ़ी आया है, KFC का चिकन आया है. तो फिर हाँ टेंशन मत लो, चिकन हो या बिकन हो जो भी है भेजो. बॉस को एंजॉयमेंट चाहिए अपने को. और बॉस कौन है? हमें. तो एक्चुअली क्या रूट कॉज तो फॉल्स ईगो है, लेकिन वो क्या है, वो पीछे से ऑर्डर देता है. और हम इतना क्लोजली आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं उससे कि हम यही नहीं जान पाते कि वो फॉल्स ईगो है. माइंड तो सपोर्ट कर रहा है, इंटेलिजेंस भी बेचारी सपोर्ट कर रही है, एंजॉय तो फॉल्स ईगो को कर रहा है. इसलिए आप देखना वो फॉल्स ईगो में एंजॉयमेंट है. And this is very deep rooted. If only this ego has this purity and consciousness that I am servant, then actually mind intelligence will help the false ego to be servant. But it is ego who wants to enjoy, and that's why we see get into so many things. Sometimes as devotees also, you will find for petty material things, they will speak, maybe lie, or they may manipulate, or they may be hypocrite, or they may be duplicitous. They may use their intelligence also for all this. Now, intelligence has knowledge, has discrimination, but because ego is such, ये चीज़ मुझको चाहिए, तो झूठ बोलेगा, इधर से घुमाएगा चीज़ों को. Why? Because ego is like that. So that's a whole process of bhakti yoga is how the ego can be purified. In that pastime, we see that how when this Kolatunga sends two of his disciples to Bhasyacharya, and he was out, and that time Ramanujacharya comes. So these two disciples, they say, where is your teacher? He has to submit text to our Guru Kolatunga. He was defeated by him. Does he want to again get defeated by our Guru? Like a moth is like a deer wants to play with the tiger, or something like that. This. So what Ramanujacharya says, he says, sorry, Yamunacharya, he says, Are, what kind of your guru is? He is supposed to make disciples humble. He is supposed to remove this impurity of ego from the heart of a disciple. On the contrary, you have become more proud. So how come is this? So that's why you see one of the most important, and in one way, the symptom of our growth in spiritual life is dissolving of ego. Like that. Real ego means I am servant of Krishna, and false ego means I am something else. Like this. And it's very difficult. See, always we have this feeling, right? I am this. I have this and I am this. These feelings are very strong, right? So how much we identify, मेरी मम्मी है, मेरे पापा हैं, मेरा घर है, मैं तेलुगु हूँ, आंध्रा से हूँ, करेक्ट? और आई हैव दिस, अभी मेरा अच्छा जॉब लग गया है, अब क्या है, एक बार जॉब लग गया, पैसा आया, फिर क्या है? फिर तो नारायण भी मुझे लक्ष्मी से नहीं बचा पाएंगे. Always you'll find back of our, if you actually go deep in your consciousness and see, I am this and I have this, like that. और कई बार निकल भी जाता है. तो एक बार एक डिवोटी थे, तो उसको हमने फीडबैक दिया कि प्रभु डिवोटीज आर फीलिंग लिटिल थ्रेटन्ड बाय योर लीडरशिप। तो वो क्या बोले, लीडर से थोड़ा तो डरना चाहिए ना प्रभु जी लोगों को। So that is good only, like that you are telling. Basically he was identifying himself as a leader, ऐसा कि थोड़ा शेर चलता है तो थोड़ा डरना चाहिए बाकी जानवरों को। तो स्ट्रॉन्ग सेंस था उनके अंदर वो कि मैं लीडर हूँ, ऐसा। और ये हो जाता है जब कुछ सक्सेस नहीं मिलता है, तब भी ये सेंस रहता है कि मैं हूँ, ऐसा। मैं जो सोच रहा हूँ थोड़ा अलग है, मैं हूँ तो बहुत विशेष, भले कुछ कर नहीं पा रहा हूँ लाइफ में, लेकिन मैं हूँ विशेष क्योंकि मैं हूँ। विशेष नहीं होता तो मैं क्यों होता, मैं हूँ तो विशेष ही होऊंगा। तो मैं, उसके बाद में मेरा। इसलिए आप देखिए हमारा जहाँ पर जन्म होता है तो उसके प्रति भाव रहता है कि ये बहुत विशेष जगह है, करेक्ट। हमारे गुरु होंगे तो उनके प्रति भाव होता है, सब गुरु अच्छे हैं लेकिन मेरा गुरु, क्योंकि मेरे को शिष्य बनाया ना। तो थोड़ा बुद्धिमान गुरु होगा तभी तो मेरे जैसे शिष्य को शिष्य बनाया होगा, ऐसा। हर चीज में एक्चुअली मैं का भाव आ जाता है, ऐसा। और फिर मेरा, और मेरा के प्रति, ये मेरा घर है, मेरा ये है, ये है, ये है, ये है। और देखिए उसके प्रति फिर सारे भाव आ जाते हैं, प्रोटेक्शन का भाव, उसको नरिशमेंट का भाव, उसका सिंचन का भाव, लाइक दैट। But then we have to know that this only is a great bondage. Till that time actually we have more of these feelings of I and mine. To that extent actually we cannot properly take shelter of the Lord. There is one verse in Bhagavatam like that. His Holiness Vrindavan Chandra Maharaj was quoting that this aham mameti, this is actually a real obstacle to make progress. We don't see ourselves belonging to Krishna, but we see ourselves belonging to our mother, father, to relatives, is it not? How much we feel for them, but then how much we feel for Krishna? How much we feel for Lord? How much we feel that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted? Sometimes people they say ना, प्रभु जी पापा चाहते हैं कि मैं एमटेक करूं। कितने लोग बोलते हैं प्रभु जी चैतन्य महाप्रभु चाहते हैं कि मैं प्योर डोटी बन जाऊं। प्रभु जी पापा चाहते हैं यूपीएससी करना है, पापा तो चाहते हैं लेकिन चैतन्य महाप्रभु क्या चाहते हैं? और ये पापा आपके सिर्फ 60 साल के पापा है, 60 साल के पापा, 60 साल के बाद आपको दूसरे पापा मिलेंगे। लेकिन जो आपके शाश्वत पापा हैं उनको भूल जाते हैं, करेक्ट। सो यू हैव टू नो एक्चुअली आवर इटर्नल रिलेशनशिप विद हिम। बाकी जितने भी लोगों का एक्सपेक्टेशंस रहता है इस दुनिया में हमसे, वो उसमें उनका कहीं ना कहीं स्वार्थ छुपा रहता है। लेकिन जब भगवान का एक्सपेक्टेशंस रहता है हमसे, तो वो भगवान के स्वार्थ के लिए होता है या हमारे भले के लिए होता है? हाँ, सी कृष्ण इज द ओनली पर्सन व्हेन ही सेइंग मन मना मद्भक्तो मद्याजी माम नमस्करु। ऐसा नहीं कि कृष्ण को लोग कुछ कम पड़ गए ताली बजाने के लिए तो थोड़े और लोग चाहिए जो ताली बजाए, नहीं। कृष्णा wants us to experience real happiness and that's why he's saying मन मना मद्भक्तो मद्याजी माम नमस्करु। लेकिन जब आपके पिताजी बोलेंगे कि बेटा अमेरिका में तुम जाओ, तो वो आपकी भलाई के लिए सोच रहे हैं या अपने नाम के लिए सोच रहे हैं? अपने नाम, भले उसको प्रेजेंट ऐसा करे वो, बट अपने नाम के लिए। मुझे याद है जब मेरा एसएसबी में क्या बोलते हैं स्क्रीनिंग इन हो गया था, भोपाल में एसएसबी था, तो मेरे पिताजी ने कितनों को फ़ोन कर दिया, अरे अभी देखना मेरा बेटा जो है ऑफिसर बन के आएगा, ऑफिसर बन के आएगा यहाँ पर, ऐसे। तो ही वॉज हैप्पी बिकॉज आई एम गेटिंग सक्सेस और ही वॉज हैप्पी बिकॉज ऑफ हिम। हाँ, बिकॉज उनको लग रहा था कि अब क्या है, अब देखना लोग बोलेंगे फलाने साहब का लड़का ऑफिसर बन गया। वैसा। बट एक्चुअली व्हेन कृष्णा सेज एनीथिंग टू अस, मन मना भक्तो मद्याजी मानम स्क्रू, या चित्र महापुरुष सिंह, टेक शेल्टर द होली नेम, हरे नाम हरे नाम हरे नाम केवलम, कलेव नास्ते 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 गतिरन्यथा. So they are for our benefit, like this. But this मैं and मेरा, same way we get so much disturbed by मेरा, right? जब हमसे कुछ ले लिया जाता है, कितना strongly हम उसे identify करते हैं, like that. And because of which our mind remains disturbed. You see, when we try to take shelter of the holy names of the Lord, mainly we are disturbed because of these two aspects, is it not? When we chant, या तो मैं के related thought आते हैं, उन्होंने ऐसा कैसे बोला, मैंने ऐसे बोला, उनको समझ में क्यों नहीं आ रहा है, मैं तो उनके बारे में सही बोल रहा हूँ. समझते क्या अपने आप को, वो जानते नहीं है मैं कौन हूँ. बहुत सेल्फिश है, जब ज़रूरत पड़ती है तो मेरे पास आते हैं, और जब ज़रूरत नहीं है तो भाग जाते हैं. या तो मैं रिलेटेड थॉट आएंगे, करेक्ट. उन्होंने ऐसा डिसीजन क्यों लिया, ऐसा नहीं लेना चाहिए था, उनको ऐसे लेना चाहिए था. समझ में क्यों नहीं आ रहा है उन लोगों को, ऐसे नहीं करना चाहिए था, ऐसे करना चाहिए था. अब पता नहीं क्या हो जाएगा. या मेरा, मुझे ये चाहिए, मुझे ये चाहिए, मुझे ये चाहिए, ऐसा हो जाएगा, वैसा हो जाएगा, ऐसा करना चाहिए, वैसा करना चाहिए, करेक्ट. तो आप देखेंगे हमारे सारे थॉट्स इसी से रिलेटेड, मैं और मेरा. मुझे ये मिल जाएगा तो कितना हो जाएगा, ये मिल जाएगा तो कैसा हो जाएगा, ये मिलना चाहिए, क्यों नहीं मिल रहा है, मिलना चाहिए, हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, कब मिलेगा, क्यों नहीं मिल रहा है, हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्णा. Like that our goes, correct. Yeah, all our thoughts are centered on I and mine, I and mine, I and mine, I and mine. But यही I अगर real I हो जाए, that I am servant of Krishna, और यही माइंड कृष्ण का हो जाए कि everything belongs to Krishna, everything is a property of the Lord, then you become a pure devotee. And यही जर्नी है, मैं मेरा से कृष्ण, और ये जो जर्नी है ये स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ की जर्नी. तो इसलिए ये फीलिंग जो है ये बहुत स्ट्रांग रहती है. एंड दे आर डिसॉल्व्ड बाय द नॉलेज, देन देयर इज लिबरेशन. तो बॉन्डेज क्या है, ये तो होके हमारे मैं और मेरा, ये तो होके इस दुनिया में. जैसे ये तो हो उठ गए, यू आर लिबरेटेड, एटलीस्ट यू गो टू ब्रह्म ज्योति. So see, when they are purified, then one feels, I belong to the Lord as His servant. The Lord, the vast ocean of beauty, excellence and sweetness, is the master I must serve along with His associates. Then there is pure love. This pure love is distinct from both bondage and liberation. Bandha moksha bhayam vilakshanaha. So this is a pure love where he thinks, who is my master? My master is Krishna. See how in material world people they identify, no? Microsoft में काम करता हूँ, Google में काम करता हूँ, correct? या सपोज आपका पिताजी अगर मुकेश अंबानी के आप बेटे हो, कई बार आप अच्छे स्कूल्स में जाएंगे तो जो बहुत रिच फैमिली से लड़के आते हैं तो बहुत उनके अंदर प्राउड रहता है, जानता नहीं मेरा पापा कौन है, लाइक दैट है. क्यों? क्योंकि उनके पापा अंबानी होंगे, अडानी होंगे, बिरला होंगे, टाटा होंगे. वैसे ही हाउ मच वी फील, वी शुड फील फॉर कृष्ण. Who is our father? He is Krishna. He is endowed with beauty, excellence and sweetness. So this all the 9 stages is a journey from man, Mera to Krishna and Krishna. Right. And devotee has to sincerely work on this aspect. How I go more closer to identify myself as a servant, and how I see everything belonging to Krishna, like that. So it should not be just a theoretical. We should try our best that everything we see belonging to Krishna, everything we should try to engage in the service of the Lord. Whatever we have, try to engage in the service of the Lord. So qualification for pure devotional service. So when the materialistic aspect of ahanta and mamta is extremely deep. So what is ahanta means I, mamta means mera. Aham mameti is very deep. One remains fixed in the cycle of birth and death. तो जब तक मैं मेरा रहेगा तब तक ये संसार आपका रहेगा. आप इस संसार में ऐसे घूमते रहोगे. और कितना डीप है आप देखेंगे, बच्चे जैसे ही थोड़ा सा बड़ा होता है मैं करके रो रहा होता है वो पैदा ही होता है बताने के लिए आई लेके आया हूँ मैं। और जैसे ही आसपास कुछ लोग दिखते हैं उनसे संपर्क करता है तो फिर मेरा चालू हो जाता है इसका। करेक्ट। So now, when a particle of faith by good fortune is born, and one thinks of becoming a Vaishnava and serving the Lord, the materialistic aspect becomes slightly spiritualized, gandha, and the jiva becomes qualified for devotion service. So now, first aspect is that the jiva is entangled in the material world, and the prominent consciousness is aham mameti, and aham mameti to enjoy in the material world. He want to enjoy aham mameti, and when that jiva becomes now qualified to enter into the devotion service, when he develops a particle of faith. And how this particle of faith comes? By good fortune. So then what happens? This aham mameti, this material aspect, is slightly spiritualized, gandha, and jiva becomes qualified for devotional service. So what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has done, actually he has analyzed all these stages in terms of how your ego is getting spiritualized through these stages. Because actually the spiritualization of ego is only the process, and when one has a real ego, then he is pure devotee of the Lord. So when the Shraddha comes, then there is just a gandha, that means little spiritualization of ego. So now, how this faith comes? Here it is mentioned by good fortune. How one comes to devotion service, that he explains. So there are stages of gradual spiritualization of one's ego. Ego has two functions: sense of I and sense of mind. I and mind. When both are dissolved by knowledge, there is liberation. When two are directed towards the body, home, and so on, there is bondage. So very clear, when I and mind are directed towards Krishna, then liberation. When they are directed towards home, body, and so on, then there is bondage. So we have to know, we were hearing that when Mahapurna came to Ramanujacharya, and Mahapurna told Ramanujacharya that Yamunacharya wants to see you soon, and he is not having good health, so please come. So that time Ramanujacharya was fetching some water for Lord Varadaraj. And he says, just I need to hand over this water to for Lord service. Then I will go. Then Mahapuna tells Ramanujacharya, what about asking your mother and family? You will not go and take their permission? Then what Ramanujacharya says? When it comes to service to Guru and family, what takes more prominence? Service to Guru. And then he goes like that. So you see, a devotee, he knows that how it's not that he's neglecting the family. It is not that he is not affectionate to them, but he knows that how it is not that they belong to me, they are also part and parcel of Krishna. So keeping Krishna in the center, I have to take care of them. That is important thing which a devotee knows. Sometimes one may feel, oh, that means we have to just neglect the family. No. We have to include them in the family of Krishna. They are family, but they are part and parcel of Krishna. So keeping Krishna in the center, I can take care of them. And in that way only I can take care of them nicely. But if we remove Krishna and we try to take care of them, identifying, then they also are bound in the material world and we are also bound in the material world. And both of us go away from Krishna, like that. So it's very important. Like I remember my mother once called me and she cried because my brother had decided to go to Canada that time. It's 2 years back. So I told what happened. Told अरे क्या है वो भी चला गया. And my brother had a small daughter that time, Aviska. So she was telling अरे वो कितना खेलती थी, ये थी वो थी, अभी वो भी चली गई, घर सुना सुना हो गया. So then I was telling my mother that अभी आपका बूढ़ापा आ चुका है और जो आपने जिम्मेदारी करना था वो हो गया और अब आप भगवान पे ध्यान लगाने का प्रयास करो. भगवान को छोड़ के इस दुनिया में जो भी संबंध बनाओगे वो आज ना कल तो चले जाएंगे. You try to better connect to Krishna. So now she is a devotee, then she understood. She told, हाँ सही बोल रहे हो. And then she started practicing spiritual life. Now you see, because of this, she is also happy and I am also happy. Why? Because both are trying to help each other to connect to Krishna. That is how family is. Like that. We have to know that they are also part and parcel of Krishna. We should not become attached or we should not become possessive over anyone. We cannot say, oh, he is my property. He has to do what I say. No. They all belong to Krishna. They are part and parcel of Krishna. And we have to see every devotee like that. We have to see every person like that. And whatever, as per Krishna, I can help him, I should do. Because they are part and parcel of Krishna. So how I should help them? The way Krishna wants. Is it not? If Krishna is saying in the scriptures that, oh, if somebody is opposing Krishna consciousness, then we should leave them. Although they may be family members, then we have to leave them because more than our family members, they are part and parcel of Krishna. Correct? And that's why we see Vibhishan is glorified for leaving Ravana. Why? Because he was against Lord Krishna, against Lord Ram. We see so many places, is it? So when our eye and mind is directed towards Krishna, then there is liberation. And when it is for pleasure of the Lord, then one achieves Krishna Prem. So by describing the super excellence of bhakti in the first chapter, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur wants to instill in us the unflinching faith in this process and help us to concentrate on our sadhana. So need for Sabda Praman. So currently this whole background is going on, then it will start. So he's saying why it is important to hear. So from Taittiriya Upanishad he is saying the Shruti, after explaining a different covering of consciousness. These are covering which all are. First one is Annamay. Then Annamay, Manamay, then Pranamay, and one more is there. I think Gyanmay also is there. Annamay, Manamay, Pranamay, Anandmay. Okay, yeah. So these are the coverings of the consciousness. Concludes Brahma Pucham Pratishtha. Brahman, the shelter or support for everything, is supreme. This statement would seem to establish Brahman, the shelter of everything. But then the same scriptures say, Rasovesa rasam hevayam labdhva nandi bhavati. The Lord is rasa itself. Attaining that rasa, the jiva becomes blissful. This statement shows the Lord in his form as the rasa incarnate is supreme. In the same way, in Bhagavatam, the cream of Vedanta, the emperor among all types of evidence describes the Lord as the embodiment of rasa or pleasure. So this is a very beautiful verse which comes in Bhagavatam 10th canto. Mallanam asaninam narvara strinam smaro murtiman gopanam swajano satam shitibhujam sast swapritro shisu मित्योर भोजपते विरान अविदुषाम तत्वं परम योगिनाम वृषीणाम पर द्वेति विदितो रंगम गते साग्रजः. So what happened when Lord was entering into the arena? So this is a song that how he was reciprocating with the rasa of all assembled devotees. All the devotees who have come in the assembly, everyone as per their rasa was having reciprocation from Krishna. So this verse proves that the Lord is the embodiment of all rasas. So you'll find, like here it is mentioned, Mallanam Asanir, how they were seeing Krishna in Veeras, restless as thunderbolt, because when they were hitting at Krishna, nothing was happening to Krishna. So they are seeing Krishna in a Veeras, there. Then Ninnam Narvaraha, man of Mathura, as the best of the males, they are seeing in a Vishmay Rasa. They are shocked, अरे क्या हो रहा है, छोटे से लड़के इतने बड़े बड़े महान. Then स्त्री नाम स्मरो मूर्तिमान, जो स्त्री है वो क्या देख रही है, माधुर्य रस, कितना सुंदर है ये लड़का. जस्ट इमेजिन जब लॉर्ड का ब्यूटी रहेगा तो कैसा ब्यूटी रहेगा. इस दुनिया में कितना भी कोई ब्यूटीफुल ना हो, हर किसी के ब्यूटी में कुछ दोष रहता है। किसी का सब कुछ अच्छा है, नाक थोड़ी बड़ी है, किसी का सब कुछ अच्छा है, यहाँ कोई डार्क सर्कल है, किसी का सब कुछ अच्छा है, एक दांत छोटा है, किसी का सब कुछ अच्छा है लेकिन चेहरा बड़ा है, आँख छोटी है। देखा होगा ना आप लोगों ने, कहीं चेहरा बहुत अच्छा है, आँख छोटी है, किसी का कुछ है, किसी के बाल यहाँ से चालू होते हैं, माथा बड़ा है, किसी के कान बड़े हैं, कुछ ना कुछ दोष हर किसी में रहेगा, करेक्ट। लेकिन व्हेन इट कम्स टू कृष्णा देयर इज नो दोष। परफेक्शन अचीव्स इट्स परफेक्शन, दैट इज कृष्णा। तो आप सोचो जब उनको देखते होंगे तो कैसा वो होता होगा ऐसे। सो व्हेन दे आर सीइंग बाप रे। देन गोपानाम स्वजनो रसः, जो गोप है वो देख रहे हैं, अब अपना ही तो दोस्त है, हम लोग तभी खेल के आए थे, मार मार, लाइक दैट। इनफैक्ट आफ्टर कृष्णा किल्ड कंसा, जो सीदामा है वो कृष्ण को बोलते हैं, ए तूने कैसे मार दिया इसको, तू मार ही नहीं सकता इसको। कृष्ण बोला, अरे भैया सबके सामने मारा, मैंने ड्रैग भी किया। बोला नहीं, चल मेरे साथ कुश्ती कर। तेरे अंदर इतनी शक्ति कैसे आ गई, उसको मार दिया। जरूर उसको हार्ट अटैक आ गया होगा उस टाइम पे। कृष्णा फिर कुश्ती करते सीदामा के साथ, और उसी एरिना में, उसी बैटल ग्राउंड में श्रीदामा कृष्ण को हरा देते। सारे कापा बोलता है, अरे ये बेचारे पता नहीं कुछ तो हार्ट अटैक आ गया, इनको मर गए, वरना कृष्ण में तो ताकत ही नहीं है, सीदामा ने हरा दिया इसको, ऐसा। तो लाइक दैट कृष्ण बोले, हाँ ठीक है, क्या कर सकते हैं। तो ये साख्य एंड हास्य रस जो उनके सकाश के साथ है। असताम सिति भुजाम शास्ता, जो असताम मीन्स जो गलत तरीके से, इम्पाइस रूलर्स, तो उनको जब वो देख रहे हैं कृष्ण को, तो उनको कैसे देख रहे हैं, रौद्र रस, ये सबको मार देगा भैया, ये सबको मार देगा, ऐसा। पित्रो शिशु, पेरेंट्स जो देख रहे हैं वो कैसे देख रहे हैं, वात्सल्य कर रहा भाई में। जो कौशल्या है, कौशल्या वाज नॉट देयर, नंद महाराज एंड देवकी एंड वसुदेव, when they are seeing Krishna in the arena having to fight with Chanur and Mystic, so the moment they would see and the moment Chanur would hit at Krishna, they would कुछ हो तो नहीं गया, like that, because they could not fathom that how Krishna is being hit by them. They have that Vatsalya and Karuna ras, तो वो एकदम आंखों कृष्णा, फिर कृष्ण, अरे कुछ नहीं हुआ, ऐसा। देन मृत्यो भोजपते है, और जो भोजपति है वो कौन है, कंस। ये भोज डायनेस्टी जो थी, भोज वंश, उसके पति यानी कि राजा। तो वो कौन से रस में देख रहे हैं, भयानक रस। तो इतने बड़े बड़े महान योद्धा हैं, उनको बलराम और कृष्ण फाट 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 ऊपर से नीचे मारे जा रहे हैं, और वो उनका विनाश हो रहा है। एक्चुअली चाणूर मुस्टिक लास्ट में आते हैं, उससे पहले और आते हैं युद्ध करने के लिए। तो कृष्ण बलराम उनको तो सबको उड़ा देते हैं, तब चाणूर मुस्टिक आते हैं। तो जब सारे उड़ जाते हैं तभी जो कंस है वो भयानक रस देखने लग जाता है। और उससे भी पहले जब कृष्ण एरिना में एंटर करते हैं तो एक खबर कंस पे पहुंच जाती है, क्योंकि कृष्ण क्या करते हैं, एक ड्रम था, नहीं वो तो जरासंध की कहानी में था। कृष्ण क्या करते हैं, पहले एक स्थान पे जाते हैं जहाँ पर एक धनुष था। तो ये धनुष जो है वो बहुत हैवी धनुष था, बहुत, और जिसको कोई उठा भी नहीं पाता था। तो जैसे राम धनुष तोड़ते वैसे कृष्ण इस धनुष को तोड़ते हैं, तो ये खबर भी जाती है। दूसरा, कोलिया पीठ को कंस ने जो पूरा एरिना था उसके बाहर गार्ड के लिए लगाया था, जिससे कि कृष्ण और बलराम को कोलिया पीठ वहीं मार दे। और कोलिया पीठ जो है बहुत पावरफुल हाथी था, बहुत शक्तिशाली हाथी था, और कृष्ण उसको मार देते हैं। तो ये भी खबर कंस को पता चल गई थी। तो अब कृष्ण जब एंटर कर रहे हैं तो कंस क्या देख रहा है, डेथ। क्योंकि ऐसी ऐसी चीजें कृष्ण करके आए जो अभी तक उसके जीवन में हुई नहीं थी। ना तो कोई धनुष, वो धनुष बहुत पुराना धनुष है जो आ रहा था। 2 धनुष थे जिसमें से शिवजी और विष्णु ने लड़ाई की थी, उसमें से एक धनुष को राम जी ने तोड़ा, एक धनुष को कृष्ण ने तोड़ा। ये दूसरा धनुष है उस टाइम पे जो लड़ाई हुई थी उसका, ऐसा है। तो ये भी उनके लिए बहुत वो था। तो इसलिए जब वो कृष्ण एंटर कर रहे हैं तो उनको मृत्यु दिख रही है। इनफैक्ट पहले ही जब कृष्ण का जन्म हो गया था और उनको पता चला कि आपका काल कहीं जन्म ले चुका है, तो इनकी 2 पत्नियां थी, आपती और प्राप्ति। जब दोनों आती थी तो इनको कृष्ण बलराम दिख जाते थे सपने में। और कई बार ग्लास पकड़ते थे इनको कृष्ण दिख जाते थे। तो इतना मृत्यु के प्रति भय था। नाथमुनि तो बोलते हैं कि कंस कितना कृष्ण कॉन्शियस हो गया था, कहीं भी देखता कृष्ण कृष्ण, थोड़ा हवा चलता था कृष्ण डर जाता था। सपने आते थे कि कृष्ण उसके गले पे आके धाड़ धाड़ मार रहा है। तो आप देखो उसको तो कितना भयानक, क्योंकि अभी तक सपनों में देखा, अपने जो डीमंस भेजता था वो न्यूज आती थी कि डीमन चले गए, अब पहली बार उनके सामने आ रहे हैं। तो आप देखो उनको तो कितना डर लगेगा ना। और डीमन भी कैसे थे, देवता लोग डरते थे। अगासुर जब मरे तो ब्रह्मा जी सरप्राइज हो गए, इनको कौन मार सकता है, ऐसे ऐसे डीमन थे। तो नेचुरली व्हेन ही सीइंग, देन ही सीइंग दिस भयानक रस। देन विराग अविदुषाम, जो अनइंटेलिजेंट थे, एज विराट रूप, दैट इज विभत्स रस, जो ज़्यादा भगवान के लिए प्रेम में जिनका भाव नहीं था, तो उनको भगवान कैसे दिखाई दे रहे हैं, विराट रूप, एक शक्तिशाली पुरुष आ रहा है इस तरीके से। तत्वम परम योगी नाम, जो योगी है वो, उनको शांति दिख रही है। भगवान युद्ध करने के लिए आ रहे हैं ये लोग। ऋषि नाम पर देवता, जो ऋषि है एज सुप्रीमली वर्शिपेबल डिटी, दैट इज दास्य रस, जो ऋषि है वो देख रहे हैं ये तो परमेश्वर भगवान है, हम इनके दास। इन द भगवद गीता द लॉर्ड हिमसेल्फ सेज ब्रह्मणोपि प्रतिष्ठाहम, आई एम द बेसिस ऑफ ब्रह्मन। Therefore, the absolute truth, that blissful transcendental person, is none other than Sri Krishna, the son of the king of Vraja, who has an unlimited body featuring all auspicious transcendental names, forms, qualities, and pastimes. This blissful Lord descends to human perception of the ear, eye, mind, and intellect, not by any material cause, but simply by his own independent will. Just as by his own will he appeared in the material world as Krishna in Yadu dynasty and Rama in the Raghu dynasty. So this blissful Lord descends to human perception. Actually, when we have come this time is very special. Brahmaji has one day. In one day, there are 1,000 yugas, and in that 1,000 yuga cycles, one particular yuga cycle which comes once in a day for Brahma, original Krishna comes, Lord Ram comes, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes. Otherwise, Lord Ram does not come in every yuga cycle. So there is one book written by, I don't know who wrote, I forgot, on life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I forgot the name also. So in that book it is written that Lord Ram does not come in every yuga cycle. So you see, we are so fortunate. Lord Ram also came, Krishna also came, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also came, and still if we will come back again, then what can be done? Like that. So Lord comes by his sweet will. Actually, we have to absorb ourselves in the pastimes of the Lord. And pastimes of the Lord are very special, especially Lord Krishna and Lord Ram. Their pastimes are very special. And initially we can hear more Vatsalya, Sakhya, and Dasya pastimes. So your heart will melt more with these, and as you become pure, then Madhurya pastimes. But at least Dasya, Sakhya, and Vatsalya pastime you should hear more. So now the way Lord is independent, same way Bhakti also is independent. Among these two, which is more greater, the Lord and or the Bhakti? Bhakti. That is why Lord falls at feet of Srimati Radharani because of Bhakti. Lord becomes a chariot driver to Arjuna because of Bhakti. Lord gets defeated by Sridama because of Bhakti. So Bhakti is more greater than the Lord. It makes Lord also as a servant. That's why Prabhupada says that Mayavadis, they want to become God, but you can become greater than God by having Bhakti. Like that. And that is the power of Bhakti. Like that. So just as Lord is not dependent on any material cause, same way Bhakti also does not have any material cause. Bhakti also is having a self-manifesting nature. So in the first canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, this comes, Savai Pumso Paro Dharmo Yato Bhaktir Adoksaje Ahetuki Aprati Ata Yayatma Suprasidati. Bhakti, which has these two parameters, unmotivated, uninterrupted, it completely satisfies the soul. Like that. When it is not having any other motivation, because Krishna reciprocates as per our attitude. So if our attitude is to give only pleasure to Krishna, then how Krishna will reciprocate? By giving pleasure to you. If our attitude is that no, I am doing this for this, then Krishna will do that. Krishna will fulfill that desire, but he'll not give you real happiness. So unmotivated and uninterrupted. Not because इन्होंने मुझे ऐसा बोल दिया मैं भक्ति नहीं कर पाऊंगा, अभी मेरा हेल्थ को ऐसा हो गया मैं भक्ति नहीं कर पाऊंगा, अभी मेरा जॉब चला गया मैं भक्ति नहीं कर पाऊंगा, अभी पिताजी बोल रहे हैं घर पे आ जाओ मैं भक्ति नहीं कर पाऊंगा. Not like that. That means uninterrupted. And if you have a desire, Krishna reciprocates like anything. You just have a desire. We all are surprised. I remember I was thinking how my parents will agree to stop onion garlic. I told somehow they agreed. I was surprised how they will agree to get to allow me to join. Somehow they agreed. Why? Because Krishna reciprocates. Krishna reciprocates. If you have that sincere desire, my dear Lord, I want to do for your pleasure, then you find everything helps. And we have to see that ahetuki apratihata, this bhakti only can satisfy the soul. So here ahetuki means causeless. That means it comes on its own. It does not have any material hetu, like that. Similarly, such a statement as yadrchaya mat kathadoho mad bhaktim idarchaya and yadarchayopachitah. The word idarchaya must be understood to mean by his own independent sweet will, because the dictionary meaning of yadarcha is completely independence. Some people take the word to mean by good luck or chance, but that meaning is not suitable here. For then one would be forced to inquire as to the origin of that good luck. Is it perhaps caused by material pious activities, subh karma, or something else? So he's saying some people they take this word to mean kenapi ati bhaya yodayena, that by good luck or chance. But this meaning is not suitable. For then one would be forced to inquire as to the origin of that good luck, and it is perhaps caused by material pious activities or something else. So Subh karma is ruled out. So one cannot come to bhakti because of pious credits. It's not that someone has done piety and because of which he can come to devotional service, because bhakti is not dependent on good works also. So Subh karma is ruled out, and then good luck also is ruled out, because good luck means good karma only. That only comes as good luck. So that means what? Any opportunity we get for practicing spiritual life, it is not like some good luck came or some karma was like that. No. And then it is saying Lord mercy also is ruled out. Why? Because Lord does not give mercy to anyone. Lord does not give mercy to anyone. He gives mercy to a devotee, and devotee can give mercy to others. So in one way, Lord does not give mercy to anyone. It is devotee who can give mercy, but Lord cannot give. So if one argues that this lack is not due to any pious activity, being indescribable by words and unknowable to the intellect, then it would be insubstantial and could not be accepted as a cause. If one proposes that the cause of bhakti is Lord's mercy, then one must then find a reason for the mercy. Thus, this statement giving rise to further need for explanation is inconclusive in itself. So he's saying if someone is saying that Lord gave mercy, then now question will come that on what basis he gave mercy, right? Then only it will happen. And Lord does not give mercy. So Lord mercy also is ruled out. Even therefore respond that the cause is the Lord's absolute, unqualified or causeless mercy, then the Lord seems to show favoritism. Someone may say, but Lord gave mercy to him. Then one may feel that then he got favoritism. Since the unqualified mercy should but does not fall upon everyone equally. But Lord is indeed partial to his devotee. But the partiality that the Lord shows in protecting his devotee from the persecution of evil elements does not bring fault to the Lord's character, but rather becomes an ornament which enhances his character. So what is mentioned is Lord is equal to everyone. But when someone becomes a devotee, then he becomes partial. Otherwise, he is equal to everyone. So someone who is not a devotee right now, then Lord will be equal, he'll be impartial. So it's not that Lord will catch someone and give mercy and you start bhakti. So that means mercy of the Lord is ruled out in this case. You're understanding? When someone becomes a devotee, then Lord can give mercy. But somebody who is not a devotee of the Lord, then for them Lord remains equal only. Like Lord was there on the battlefield. So Lord was equal. Those who died thinking that Lord is amazing, they went back to Godhead. Those who died thinking that अरे सब कुछ इसकी वजह से हो रहा है, they went to Brahma Jyoti. Is it not? Lord was equally giving to everyone. Equally he was there. Like that. So Lord bestows his mercy and pure bhakti through the devotee. So there is no other way, right? Lord, because he does not give mercy. And in case of a devotee also, Uttam Adhikari never gives mercy because he thinks only one person is a non-devotee, that is myself. So then why he'll give mercy? So only one person gives mercy, that is Madhyam Adhikari. Because Madhyam Adhikari has a nature to discriminate. So when Madhyam Adhikari finds a person suitable, that okay, he should be given mercy, then he gets the mercy. ईश्वरे तद अधिनेषु बालिशेषु दस्तुषु च प्रेम मैत्री कृपा अपेक्षा य करोति स मध्यमा. तो ये मध्यमा के क्या है लक्षण है? प्रेम, मैत्री एंड कृपा एंड अपेक्षा. तो प्रेम किनसे करते हैं? भगवान से. मैत्री किनसे करते हैं? भक्तों से. कृपा किन पे देखते हैं? इनोसेंट को. अपेक्षा किनसे करते हैं? द्वेषियों से. तो ये कृपा देते हैं किनको? जो इनोसेंट है. So mercy of a devotee is accepted. Here we see how Lord becomes subservient to his devotee, bestowing his mercy in accordance with the devotee's mercy. So when devotee gives mercy, Lord mercy follows. But there is no irregularity in this arrangement, because the reason that mercy appeared in the devotee is because bhakti is in his heart. Without having bhakti, there is no possibility of devotee manifesting mercy to others. Thus, in this case, the self-manifesting independent nature of bhakti is again resolved. Someone may say, but then how he could give mercy? Because he has bhakti in his heart. So, in one way, that bhakti only is giving himself to the innocent person. Is it? So, in one way, bhakti only is the cause of bhakti. If this Madhyam Adhikari does not have bhakti, then he cannot give bhakti to others. So that's why there is no other reason for coming to devotion service than bhakti only. And how in our case we get in touch with bhakti? That is by the medium of a Madhyam Adhikari. Why? Because Lord is subservient to his devotees. So in the statement it is mentioned, ya kenepi ati bhagyena jato shraddhopa sevane. The person who has attained faith in the service of the Lord by extreme good fortune. The word ati bhagyena, extreme good fortune, should be understood to mean the attainment of the mercy of the devotee, which surpasses ati krama, the result of material pious activities, subh karma. So here क्या बताया है? यह केनेपि अति भाग्येन जतो श्रद्धोस्य सेवने. Person who has attained faith to serve Krishna is by ati bhagyena, and this ati bhagyena is what? Mercy of a devotee, means bhakti, is not pious credits. But devotees themselves are dependent on the Lord. Does it mean that the bhakti is dependent on the Lord? The Lord is impelling devotees to bestow His mercy? The answer is no. Now someone may say that devotees of the Lord, they are dependent on the Lord, right? So does it mean that the bhakti also is dependent on the Lord? He says no. Why? It is not that Krishna is telling the devotee that give mercy to him. It is not that Krishna is telling. That devotee's heart which has bhakti, so that bhakti got melted seeing the innocence of that devotee. So then, because of that heart full of bhakti, this devotee deciding that he should be given mercy. And that's why that person gets the mercy. It is not that Krishna told him. It is because of bhakti in his heart, he felt to give bhakti to him. So it is bhakti because of which he is getting bhakti. हाँ, तभी आप लोगों को समझ में आ रहा है यार? भक्ति हो गया. Basically, that devotee is happy with that devotee. Why is happy? That devotee knows. Bhakti is like that only. When it comes to devotee, you have to make him happy. And that devotee is happy, then he gives like that. For the Lord willingly becomes subservient to his devotee and gives preeminence to the devotee's position by granting him the power to bestow the Lord's mercy. So see, for the Lord willingly becomes subservient to his devotee and gives prominence to the devotee's position by giving him power that you can give Lord's mercy, like that. And why Lord gives this power to the devotee to give his mercy? Because of bhakti. So Lord is subservient to bhakti. Understood? Because devotee has bhakti and devotee is feeling, my dear Lord, this devotee should become a devotee. This living entity should become a devotee. Then Lord's mercy reaches to his account. Because of bhakti in his heart, he is wanting to give bhakti to him. Though as Paramatma he simply oversees, as Paramatma Lord is neutral. As Paramatma Lord does not function as a person. He is a neutral. This is good, this is bad. This is good, this is bad. This is good, this is bad. You are bad, always you do bad. But this is not good. That is Paramatma. Though as Paramatma, he simply oversees the affairs of Jiva's external senses. The Lord personally shows special mercy to his devotees by giving them his own independent power to bestow mercy to others. Like that. So Lord, he gives that privilege to the devotees that they can give. That is why you see in our Vaishnava Sampradaya, we give more emphasis on becoming servant of devotees than the Lord also. Because then only we get mercy. And especially in Sri Sampradaya, we had so many pastimes, right? We have to serve devotees like that. So that is why trying to please Srila Prabhupada, trying to please our spiritual master, trying to please devotees of the Lord, serve them, that actually will give more mercy of Krishna. We see that how that Tirumanga Elvar, by serving all the Vaishnavas, he became a great Acharya. Because for Vaishnava Seva, nothing can stop Vaishnava Seva. And he became Acharya like that. So getting opportunity to serve Vaishnava should not be seen actually a material activity. Any service. we should feel very happy. And that is a tradition. Now we went to this there is one devotee, Yeshu Prabhu, you might be knowing. He is from very rich family. So Adi Shampur, Priyoganpur, myself, when we went to Govardhan, so first we reached Mathura. So he called us, we went to his house. The moment we entered, flowers. And the father of Yeshu was telling, हमारा घर तो पवित्र हो गया, आप लोग पधार गए, इस तरीके से सब दंडवत कर रहे हैं, वो कर रहे हैं. फिर चांदी की थालियों में फ्रूट्स, चांदी का गिलास, चांदी की थाली, और उसमें कुछ क्रिस्टल्स लगे हुए थे. तो हम तीनों देख रहे थे, बाप रे क्या हो रहा है ऐसा. तो why? Because so much importance is given, because devotees are very important, like that. So when we get opportunity to serve devotees, that should not be seen in a normal way. I remember my parents, they are in Morena, so many times brahmacharis and all they come. So first time when some brahmacharis came and they wanted some prasadam, so my father called me कि ऐसा ऐसा है. मैं बोला पापा जी सेवा करो, बहुत अच्छा है, मौका है आपके लिए. So then he did, and then because of their service like this, they became good devotees. Now वहाँ पर कोई भी डिवोटी आता है, हमारे घर में रुकता है, और हमारे घर में ही वो क्या करते हैं, प्रसाद वगैरह खाते हैं. अभी उज्जैन से कुछ ब्रह्मचारी आए थे, तो we don't know, but we grow a lot in our devotion service. So this ये उज्जैन से ब्रह्मचारी आए थे. दिस इज माई मदर, माई फादर, ही इज माई ब्रदर, सी इज वाइफ ऑफ माई ब्रदर. ये अविष्का है. इसका अविष्का का मीनिंग होता है द गॉड्स गिफ्ट. और ये जो नमूना है इसका नाम है अयुक्त. हाँ, अयुक्त. अयुक्त मतलब भगवान का एक नाम है. इसने ही रखे हैं, गूगल से ढूंढ ढूंढ के. ये कीर्तन कर रहे हैं हम लोग, सब बैठे हुए कीर्तन कर रहे हैं. So like that, whenever we get any opportunity to serve devotees, that is most important, to have mercy of the Lord. That we have to understand. So Krishna also will not give. Krishna will say, go to my devotees, fall at their feet, serve them, like that. So whenever we get, we should feel very happy. So I was sharing with Yashodhan Prabhu that when we take more responsibilities, one good thing happens in our life is we get more opportunities to take association of senior devotees. Like recently, this Varanasi Kanpur issue is going on. So we had a meeting. Guru Prasad Maharaj was there. We had meeting. Radhishambhu, Devkinandan Prabhu, Bhaktipad Maharaj, Sundar Gopal Prabhu, all these devotees together, we had 4-5 meetings, like that. Huh? Result to they are working. I was happy with meeting. But point is, when you take more responsibility, then you can have association, like that. So like I never imagined that all sannyasis, seniors, like I can now directly actually approach them, ask them, go to them, because of in some way I'm trying to serve, like that. So that actually is a great blessing, that we get some opportunity to do something for them, to serve them, like that. So bhakti is not caused by any other process. Through many scriptural statements, Swachevatarah Charitehe Swecha Mayaya, one can understand that the Lord appears by his own will. Still, material vision may impel. So someone may say, no, to relieve the burden of evil on the earth is the cause of Lord's advent. Sometimes we may hear prayers by demigods, Trahimam, Trahimam, then Lord coming, don't worry, I'll come now, like that. In the same way, sometimes it is said that the prescribed activities, karma, performed without personal motives, act as the door to Bhakti. So one has to understand that it's not that Lord has to come to kill some demon. If Lord wants, he can just empower living entity. He can go and kill. If Lord wants, he can kill without anything by using his material energy only. Is it not? But then Lord comes by his sweet will because to reciprocate with love of devotees. Same way it may appear that the karma performed without personal motive, that is niskam karma, acts as a door to bhakti. There is no harm in such statements if we understand that their relative nature. But yet, charity, austerity, etc., are clearly denied as the cause of bhakti in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, sometimes one may feel that the Niskam Karma Yoga, there are three things Chaitanya Krishna says in Gita, na, that they should not be given up: charity, austerity, yajna, tapa, dana, yajna, they should not be given. So he's saying now it may appear that niskam karmas like dan, tapa, yajna, they appear to be cause of bhakti like that. So he's saying there is no harm in saying such statements because if we understand their relative nature. Relative nature means if somebody is doing them for some spiritual thing, like suppose there is a pastime that in case of Nirga, he was known for dana. But what happened one time, one devotee of the Lord came to him and he wanted some money for making a temple of the Lord. So he told Nirga that please give me some money so that I can make a temple of the Lord. Nirga gave huge amount of money to this devotee to make a temple of the Lord. So devotee, he blessed Nirga that you will see Krishna face to face. And then he went. So why dana, tapa and yajna are considered that not in the sense that dana, tapa, yajna can give bhakti, but their nature is like that there is a possibility that they can help one to give bhakti. I suppose a devotee comes and then you give dana, right? Then you can give this thing, right? Same with tapa, you are doing austerities, so you may get some purification, and some Vaishnavas they come, you may serve them. Then you are doing yajna, then you may sometime maybe offering to demigods, but then the demigods which you are offering, then sometimes the brahmana whom you called for performing yajna, he may be a Vaishnava, and then while offering to demigod he may also offer to Lord Vishnu, and then you get the credit. Why? Because you happen to call a Vaishnava. You understood, no? They are directly not the cause, but they can become an indirect cause, and that indirect cause also is because of bhakti only. You understood this? Because in dana it can always happen. Like you will find in Vrindavan, some people they come, they give dan, and so many sadhus they come because many of them are poor. So they come, and especially people they give winter clothes. Karunam will do now. Right. So actually this is good. Those who are new people, we take them, and through their hand if we can give to poor sadhus. So then they get, and if that sadhu becomes very happy, if you have given quality this thing. साधु ने ऐसे किया कपड़ा फट गया, साधु बोलेगा रे नाला। अगर क्वालिटी कुछ दिया है जो साधु को असली में यूज पड़े, तो उसके हार्ट में नेचुरली क्या फीलिंग आएगा? आप देखेंगे वो आप पे हाथ रखेंगे ना, कृष्णे मते अस्तु, तो बस हो गया। जैसे ही उन्होंने बोला कृष्ण मते रस्तु, भगवान ने तुरंत मर्सी आपके अकाउंट में आ जाएगी। या बहुत ज़्यादा आप तप कर रहे हो, उससे थोड़ा हार्ट प्योरीफाई हो गया तो कुछ वैष्णव सेवा कर दी, या यज्ञ के लिए किसी वैष्णव को बुला लिया। जैसे अभी इस्कॉन में भी कई डिवोटीज़ हैं जो गृहस्थ आश्रम में हैं और लेकिन बाहर काम नहीं करते, वो इस टाइप की चीज़ें करते हैं, मैरिज कराना, यज्ञ करना, जो क्योंकि गृहस्थाओं को तो बहुत सारे यज्ञ लगते हैं ना, तो वो यही सब करते हैं। लेकिन हैं कौन ये लोग? डिवोटीज है, वैष्णव हैं। अब कोई अगर कर्मी इनको बुला लेता है तो उसको क्रेडिट मिल जाएगा, क्योंकि जब ये करेंगे तो ये सिर्फ डेमीगॉड्स को ऑफर नहीं करेंगे, ये डेमीगॉड्स को भी ऑफर करेंगे ये सोच के कि वो कृष्ण भगवान के सेवक है, और कृष्ण को भी ऑफर करेंगे। जब अम्बरीश महाराज यज्ञ करते थे तो ये बताया गया है कि व्हेन ही वुड से इंद्रो वाह नमः, तो उस टाइम पे अम्बरीश महाराज याद करते थे कि इंद्र जो है वो भगवान विष्णु के हाथ है, लाइक दैट. So although Indra is being chanted here, but his connection is Krishna, like that. So that is why uh, uh, they can help one to do some bhakti, and by that bhakti can come. Otherwise, they themselves are not cause of bhakti. So this verse is there that no matter how much effort one has done in mystic yoga, how much Sankhya yoga, how much charity, penance, was, none of them can help to achieve Krishna. Now you see how fortunate we are. Neither we did dana, neither we did tapa, nor we did yajna. आप में से कितने लोग किसी यज्ञ में बैठे थे भक्ति में आने से पहले? किसी भी यज्ञ में, गृह प्रवेश में, कहीं कोई बैठे? कौन से यज्ञ में बैठे आप? चलो थोड़ा यज्ञ तो, कितने लोग कुछ तपस्या किए थे? कोई फास्ट रखते थे किसी चीज का? नवरात्रि का रखते 9 दिन, एक दिन? अच्छा, मैं हर ट्यूसडे का रखता था हनुमान जी के प्रसन्नता के लिए. और दान कितने लोग देते थे? इसमें तो सब कंजूस है भारत में. मैंने भक्ति में आने से पहले किसी को कुछ भी दान नहीं किया. दान में कंजूस रहते हैं भारत वाले, है ना? दान में उनके प्राण निकल जाते हैं. प्राण ले लो लेकिन दान मत लो. ऐसा. लेकिन भारत में फिर भी कल्चर बहुत अच्छा है. एक्चुअली आप भारत में पैदा हुए हो तो. मैं अभी सर्दियों के समय हम लोग एक विंटर क्लोथ वाली दुकान पे गए थे ब्रह्मचारी उसके लिए कुछ कपड़े खरीदने. तो एक साधु महात्मा है दुकान के पास में, बाबा कुछ दीजिए. तो 5 रुपए का उसने सिक्का डाला. वह दुकान पे जा रहा था. आपने देखा है कई जगह साधु लोग जो है दुकान टू दुकान जाएंगे और पैसा कलेक्ट करेंगे. वैसे ही जैसे कुछ नवरात्रि का कुछ पंडाल बन रहा है, फंक्शन बन रहा है, गांव में जाएंगे सबसे चंदा इकट्ठा करेंगे. या कुछ फेस्टिवल है गॉड से रिलेटेड तो जाएंगे चंदा इकट्ठा करेंगे. तो इंडिया का कल्चर ऐसा है कि दान तप और यज्ञ की थोड़े थोड़े रेमिनेंट्स अभी भी हैं और उसके कारण इनडायरेक्टली कुछ भक्ति हो जाता है जो हमको पता नहीं चलता. This is the reason why Bhaktivinoda Thakur decided I will collect only 1 rupee from each person to make temple of Lord Chaitanya so that all of them can get mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And all the people who gave that 1 rupee to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they achieved. Like now also we have opportunity, this temple in TOVP. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has told anyone who helps to make this temple, I will personally come and take him back to Godhead. A statement like that. I told my parents, इसमें कुछ आप दान दीजिए. I told my brother, कुछ तो दीजिए. Whatever you can give, because it is very special. Nityananda Prabhu predicted, that such Adbhut Mandir hoibe. Prabhupada wanted and worked very hard. So we should give, all of you also should give something. If not more, at least basic, I think 7,000 rupees का है brick. एक brick ही लगा दीजिए भगवान. ऐसा. लेकिन बहुत ज़रूरी है एक्चुअली, क्योंकि इसकी वजह से लोग कनेक्ट हो जाते हैं भक्ति में. एक तरीके से आप देखोगे जो भी टेम्पल्स बन रहे हैं और इस्कॉन के भक्त ये कर रहे हैं, कहीं ना कहीं कितना भक्ति से लोगों को जोड़ रहे हैं. नहीं, जैसे हम प्रसाद देते हैं उससे भक्ति से लोग जुड़ जाते हैं. हमारे नाम करते हैं उससे लोग भक्ति से जुड़ जाते हैं. और भक्तिनाथ ठाकुर ने बोला अभी इतने सारे भक्त पता है क्यों बढ़ रहे हैं? क्योंकि बहुत सारे ऐसे भी लोग हैं जो कहीं ना कहीं ऐसे जुड़े और मर गए और फिर अभी भक्ति में ले रहे हैं. भक्तिनाथ ठाकुर बोलते हैं कलियुगा में हमको बहुत हरिनाम करना चाहिए और बहुत प्रसाद डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना चाहिए जिससे कि अगले जन्म में ये लोग भक्त बने, लाइक दैट. एंड ये लॉर्ड का ही प्लान है चैतन्य महाप्रभु का. व्हाई प्रभुपाद मेड रथ यात्रा सो फेमस. Otherwise, Rath Yatra was confined only to Odisha or only to Jagannath Puri. But then because of him, you see Rath Yatra all over. Why? People get opportunity to connect to Krishna. किसी ने हरे कृष्णा सुना, किसी ने प्रसाद खाया, भगवान के दर्शन किए, ऐसा. So like that it comes. So as I told you, in one way they can connect to bhakti. Rather, it is bhakti which supports the other processes. This also repeatedly is mentioned in scriptures, that how whatever success comes in karma, yoga, jnana is because of its connection to bhakti. There is no success in any of these processes. So he's saying jnana depends on bhakti. He's quoting this verse. Shreya Shrutim Bhakti Mudasyate Vibho Klishyanti Ye Kevala Bodha Labdhaye Tesham Aso Kleshas Eva Sisyate Nanyad Yatha Sthula Tusha Vaghate Nam. My dear Lord, devotion service unto you is the best path for self-realization. If someone gives up the path and engages in cultivation of speculative knowledge, he will simply undergo a troublesome process and will not achieve his desired result. As a person who beats an empty husk of wheat cannot get grain, one who simply speculates cannot achieve self-realization. His only gain is trouble. So this is a verse in Bhagavatam, that how jnana also depends on bhakti. Only by jnana you get nothing. So it is like, empty husk you are beating, but grains are not there only. Like that. So how, in what way in jnana one can get in touch with bhakti? In the course of jnana, he may happen to read some devotional books. सब कुछ पढ़ रहा है उसमें, फिर भगवत गीता एज इट इज प्रभुपाद जी के द्वारा लिखा हुआ भी पढ़ लिया उसने ज्ञान के लिए, बस उससे थोड़ा उनको भक्ति का वो मिल गया। तो आप देखिए, डिवोटीज के टच से जो भी हमारे जीवन में आता है वो सिर्फ कृपा देने के लिए है। आप प्रभुपाद जी की किताब को स्पर्श किए, कृपा। प्रभुपाद जी ने जो मंदिर बनाए या भक्तों ने जो मंदिर बनाए उसमें चले गए, कृपा। ऐसा भक्तों की जो भजन स्थलियाँ हैं वहाँ पर आपने प्रार्थना कर दिया, कृपा। भक्तों की समाधियाँ हैं वहाँ आपने प्रार्थना कर दिया, कृपा। ऐसा तो जहाँ भक्त है उसको कृपा के रूप में देखो। डिवोटी मीन्स mercy, like that. So jnana also depends on bhakti. And then it is mentioned, taktva sudharmam charanam bhujam hare bhajan apakko tapate tato yadi yatra kava brahma bhutamusya kim kovartha apo bhajatam sadharmatah. फिर यहाँ क्या बताया गया है कि भक्ति डज नॉट डिपेंड ऑन कर्म। ऐसा इसका मतलब क्या है, ये बहुत अच्छा श्लोक है कि अगर कोई व्यक्ति है जिसने अपने सारी ड्यूटीज जो हैं छोड़ दी है, वर्णाश्रम की छोड़ दी है, और भगवान की पूजा करने लग जाता है, और कुछ कारणवश क्या होता है वो भक्ति भी छोड़ देता है, कुछ समय के बाद में भक्ति भी छोड़ देता है, स्टिल देयर इज नो मिसफॉर्च्यून फॉर हिम एट ऑल इन द फ्यूचर। बट अगर कोई व्यक्ति है जो अच्छी तरीके से वर्णाश्रम को पालन कर रहा है लेकिन भगवान की पूजा नहीं कर रहा है, उसको कुछ नहीं मिलेगा। आपको आया समझ? कोई व्यक्ति है जिसने सारी जिम्मेदारियां छोड़ दिया और भगवान की भक्ति किया, उसका भगवान की भक्ति भी छोड़ दिया। दूसरा व्यक्ति है जिसने बहुत अच्छी तरीके से सब चीज़ों का ध्यान रखा, अच्छी तरीके से पत्नी को देखा, मम्मी को देखा, पापा को देखा, घर को देखा, देश को देखा, अपने आप को देखा, भगवान को नहीं देख पाया। तो अंत में क्या हो गया, उसको क्या मिलेगा? बड़े बड़े जीरो। लेकिन जिसने थोड़ा सा भक्ति किया, बाकी सब कुछ भले छूट गया, उसको भी बेटर डेस्टिनेशन मिलेगा कंपेयर टू दिस पर्सन। इसका मतलब भक्ति डज नॉट डिपेंड ऑन कर्मा। ऐसा योगा डिपेंड्स ऑन भक्ति। पूरे भुमान भवोपि योगिनस् त्वद् अर्पितेह निज कर्म लब्धया विभूदया भक्तेव कथोपनीत्या प्रपीदेरे अंजो अच्युतते गतिम परम। O Almighty Lord, in the past, many yogis in this world achieved the platform of devotion service by offering their endeavors unto you and faithfully carrying out their duties. Through such devotion service, perfected by the process of hearing and chanting, they came to understand you, O infallible one, and could easily surrender to you and achieve your supreme abode. तो देखिए, योगा भी डिपेंड करता है किस पे? भक्ति पे। क्यों? क्योंकि जो बहुत सारे योगीज हैं जिन्होंने बहुत सारा तपस्या किया है, उस तपस्या के बाद में धीरे धीरे करके अगर किसी भक्त की कृपा मिल जाती है तब वो भक्ति में आते हैं, वरना तब तक वो योग में लगे रहते हैं। ऐसा। तो आप देखिए योगा ऑल्सो डिपेंड्स ऑन भक्ति, मतलब योगा का जो परफेक्शन है टू अचीव कृष्णा डिपेंड्स ऑन भक्ति। तो योगा करता रहेगा करता रहेगा करता रहेगा, तब कोई एक वैष्णव उसकी ज़िंदगी में कहीं से आए, मिल गया उसको, तब वो फिर भक्ति में जुड़ जाएगा। ऐसा भक्ति डज नॉट डिपेंड ऑन एनीथिंग एल्स इंक्लूडिंग वैराग्य। वैराग्य पे भी भक्ति डिपेंड नहीं करती है। Whereas for the accomplishment of its result, prema, the practice of bhakti is never dependent even in the slightest way on कर्म, ज्ञान एंड योगा। ऐसा इसलिए आप भक्ति के उदाहरण आप देखिए, ऐसे लोग भी शुद्ध भक्त बन गए जिन्होंने कोई कर्म नहीं किया, कोई जिम्मेदारी नहीं निभाई। ऐसे भी लोग भक्त बन गए जो बहुत ज़्यादा बुद्धिमान नहीं थे, साउथ इंडियन ब्राह्मण को देखिए। ऐसे भी लोग भक्त बन गए जिन्होंने अपनी ज़िंदगी में कभी तपस्या नहीं की। करेक्ट। आप जो यज्ञिक ब्राह्मणास की पत्नियां थी उनको आप देख लो, कोई तपस्या नहीं की, स्त्रियां थी, घर पर रहती थी, घर के काम करती थी, लेकिन क्या हो गया, उनको भक्ति मिल गया। और जो यज्ञिक ब्राह्मणास थे, स्वाहा धूम धुआं निकल रहा है एकदम, तड़ और महीनों से लगे हुए हैं और कुछ खा नहीं रहे हैं, बीच में तो थोड़ा सा सेब एप्पल वैप्पल सब खा रहे हैं। ऐसा ये भक्ति की विशेषता है। Therefore, for a devotee engaged in my loving service with mind fixed on me, mat atmanaha, the cultivation of knowledge and renunciation is generally not the means of achieving the highest perfection within this world. In fact, ये अपने आप ही होता है। जब भक्ति में लगते हैं तो भक्ति के दो पुत्र हैं, ज्ञान और वैराग्य, तो ये अपने आप ही आते हैं। The dependency of karma, ज्ञान and yoga on bhakti must be accepted as a fact. ये जो कर्म ज्ञान और योग हैं, इसमें अगर थोड़ा सा कुछ फल मिलता है, जैसे जो कर्मी योगी, जो कर्मी गुरु होता है, तो उसको भी विष्णु का नाम लेना पड़ता है कर्म कांड में, तो एक विष्णु के नाम से उनको थोड़ा फल मिलेगा। तो ये जितने भी प्रोसेस हैं आप देखेंगे उसमें थोड़ा भक्ति का टच रहेगा, तो उस प्रोसेस में उनको थोड़ा सा सफलता मिलेगा। भगवत भक्ति हीनस्य, अब इसमें तो थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा, ये सब अभी हम लोग पहुंच रहे हैं कि कैसे स्टार्ट होगी भक्ति। तो आई थिंक इसको फिर दोपहर में कंटिन्यू करते हैं हम। हरे कृष्णा। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।